Good morning. This is Sunday morning. This is to clear the air about the article in the Baltimore Sun concerning Marilyn Mosby. That's her house. Right there is her house. Because I sent this mail to her house. I wouldn't have sat outside her house with that toilet if she would have answered her mail. All right? The mail was asking for access to the grand jury. It wasn't asking her to take my case to the grand jury. It was asking her to let me go take my own case in front of the grand jury. I got issues with the state's attorney's office and the way they distribute the law. They do it for their benefit, not the people's benefit. They use prosecutorial discretion to deny citizens access to the grand jury. Just like she said, she's not going to prosecute the police officers that killed Tyrone West, but she prosecuted the officers that killed Freddie Gray. A murder's a murder. You prosecuting Keith Davis for something he didn't do, so to tell the people that you don't have evidence, you can indict a ham sandwich. You indicted a whole lot of black people on crimes they didn't commit. So now let's see if the law works equally, blindly. All right? Now here goes a letter from the state's attorney's office, and it's dated February the 22nd, 2016. That's my address, because I ain't got a problem telling you I'm homeless. I live in the lady's basement. I work to keep a roof over my head. And this is your response from the state's attorney's office. No name on it. This is your response. February the 19th. Mr. Davis, we are receipt of your missive. I don't even know what a missive is, but we are not the agency this information should be sent to. Scott Shellenberger is the state's attorney for Baltimore County. Marilyn Mosby is the state's attorney for Baltimore City. Only she is not the chief state's attorney. There is no chief state's attorney. Each county, all right, bottom line is you didn't sign this. You didn't say who it was from. You ain't even on your letterhead. All right. So this is what I wrote in that response. So Justin Fenton, get it right. In my response, the office of the state's attorney of Baltimore City, 120 East Baltimore Street. Dear Marilyn Mosby, state's attorney, I request the opportunity to appear in front of the Baltimore City grand jury during the month of May 2016. I am not asking the state's attorney's office to represent me before the grand jury. I am asking for access to the grand jury for myself. Maryland Grand Jury Handbook, private citizen. A private citizen individual may approach the grand jury to offer information and or request the grand jury to investigate a particular matter. The grand jury should ensure that the individual is not attempting to improperly influence them or any member of for the execution of their duties. It is suggested that this request for the investigation be put in writing and presented to the entire body in all, or the state's attorney assist the state's attorney in appropriate investigative actions. That's what I'm asking for, my right to approach the grand jury. And this is what I sent you. It's the email, forwarded, contacted, Marilyn Mosby and Roberto. I sent it to Roberto, a copy to Roberto, so we keep in contact about what we're doing. In my grand jury, I'm a whistleblower, and I'm asking you to investigate the corruption in the courts under Scott Shellenberger's administration. Marilyn Mosby says she's a fair state's attorney, but you sent, how many cases have you ever heard in this state in the last 20 years where the state's attorney sent a murder case to another county to be investigated or to be prosecuted? Marilyn Mosby sent Lieutenant Colonel Russell's son's murder case to Baltimore County under Scott Shellenberger's prosecution. Now, ain't nobody said nothing to Marilyn Mosby about that. But you won't investigate the corruption that's going on here in Baltimore City. If that man's case ain't been on WJZ, that man's case ain't been on Baltimore Sun, but you got us on America's Most Wanted. You got us on Public Enemy #1. So until you answer me, until you answer this mail legally, until you walk me in front of the grand jury, I'm going to stay in front of your house, your job, whatever. Rejecting the mail, it's your job. I'm going to send it to your house. I'll come out and knock on your door. I'll I'll pepper your community with this letter. I'm going to make 1,000 copies, and like the walls of Jericho, sooner or later, you're going to have to give in. You're going to have to see me if you like it or not. And locking me up, you're going to lock me up because I asked to see the grand jury? I'm going to get what I want anyway. Because locking me up, I'm going to talk to the grand jury. You're going to have to lock me up, and I'm going to have a jury of 12. Because what you going to charge me with? Asking to approach the grand jury? Because that's what it's all about. Do your job or lose your job. Just like Chicago. Y'all got too much corruption going on. And y'all want to blame it on the black guy. I want white-collar criminals and political corruption criminals arrested just the same way that you want to arrest a drug dealer on the corner. The same way that you want to label black-on-black crime public enemy number one. I want your crime plan to include all crimes and all criminals. Because if it don't, dog, I'm an advocate for justice. And it ain't going to keep being just us. I ain't hard to find. This is my rebuttal to the Baltimore Sun. And believe you me, when I see Justin Fenton, anybody from the Baltimore Sun, I'm going to do the same thing to you. And I'm going to hand you this letter.